So look at this poll. Look at this poll. Is this what it's coming down to? Is this what it is coming down to? Georgia's looking pretty swing down there. North Carolina's looking pretty swing. Florida's always been a swing state. I don't know. Texas is not as red as it used to be. What's going on? What's going on in Alaska? I mean, nobody barely stays there. But is this what the polls are looking like? What you guys think? I told you guys already. You may be in for a very, very rude awakening. Very, very rude awakening. Richard Brown said all black people can play basketball. Basically, that's equivalent to what MSK said. Basically, that's basically what I was getting at. He's talking about most white kids have trust funds, bro. That's not true. That's not true. Like, no, that's absolutely not true. So that's yeah, all black people can play basketball. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But anyway, MSK said won't be surprised if Kamala wins. Yeah, I told you. I told you. Listen, then people see ignorant people, they'll look at this map and be like, well, Trump won most of the United States. No, that's not how that works, people. It's not how that works. It's not how that works. It's what the electoral votes are for, right? Based on population. There's nobody in Montana. There's nobody in Wyoming. There's nobody in North Dakota. There's nobody in South Dakota. There's nobody in Nebraska. There's nobody in what is that? Kentucky? There's nobody in Oklahoma, right? There's nobody in Iowa. There's nobody in Missouri. There's nobody in Utah. There's nobody in Idaho, right? There's nobody in basically 70% of these states, right? He's gonna win if not all of the Bible Belt anyway. What's this? The Sun Belt too? It's the Sun Belt or the Bible Belt, whichever one. He's gonna win most of those states. However, y'all got to understand that it's about electoral votes, and based on said state population size will determine how many electoral votes that candidate wins. So California is a big, huge electoral vote win, right? So is Texas, right? So is much of these states. Well, Georgia, Florida, definitely. But then you get up here to if you guys don't notice, much of the country stays in the northeast, along the coast, and down here. So you have Texas, which really is much of the South, if you will. You have Georgia, and that's mainly because of Atlanta. Then you got Florida, right? Then you have the Northeast, right? New York, New Jersey, Vermont, Virginia, all of that up there, right? And then, of course, up here you have Chicago, which is basically much of Illinois, right? Wisconsin, Michigan, you got Detroit, and all of that up there, right? So basically, what I'm saying is, wherever the population is, wherever the majority of people are staying, then that's what matters most, right? If you win Montana, Montana doesn't count. Like if you win Montana, like okay, motherfucker, you won Montana. Congratulations. You won. The five people that stay in fucking Montana voted you in. Okay, cool. North Dakota, South Dakota. Nobody stays in fucking Dakota. Nobody stays in Alaska, right? Much of Alaska is uninhabitable. Right? You can't even stay in much of Alaska. Much of Alaska is just wildlife. People only stay in dang on what Anchorage, but no. So This is accurate. This is accurate. So it'll only take either one of these states, Arizona, Texas, Georgia, Florida. That's what it's really gonna come down to. And people are talking about Texas. People are talking about Texas turning blue. Now that'll be crazy. Now if she win Georgia, she probably win. I'm telling you that right now. If she wins Georgia, she's probably gonna win. If she wins Florida, she definitely won. Now Trump, I'm still betting that he more than likely will win Texas, but you never know. You've had you've had so many people move from the north and out west into Texas. There's no telling. Texas, I would probably say that Texas is probably up for grabs. People said that Georgia would never turn blue. They did. So it's not, it's up for grabs, definitely. Let's read some of these comments and move on. Um Jake Dunningham, 50 days is a long time and the pendulum swings back and forth, but the only day that matters in the pendulum swinging is on November 5th. Yep, you're right. Blue Wave said desperate people do desperate things. Jake said you said it comes down to Pennsylvania. Really? Pennsylvania's worth that much? Electoral votes? Hmm. Interesting. But anyway, you guys see it. So you guys seeing what's going on. Who knows at this point? People thought that he was just gonna swoop in and that just be that. But turns out, uh it may not be that way. People thought he was just gonna come in and swoop up all the votes. Uh-uh. No, sir. It's not gonna happen like that. So I told you guys. I already told you guys. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised because people are going to vote for Kamala. And people are going to vote for Trump. People are going to vote, basically. So the people will decide who will become the next president of the United States. So don't be surprised. But anyway, on to other news.